What is going on, guys? Sean Don coming back with a technical analysis. Here we have Josh Beiswanger back for a second analysis. Last time I did one, it was, I think, maybe a month or two ago. Just watch that, so I'm going to kind of use that as a reference to see how things kind of improved, I guess. Although different camera angles here. In the first video, it was from the front, now it's from the side, so we get to see a little bit of different vantage points and see how that sort of changes my interpretation of the throw, if you will. It gives you some different feedback. So let's take a look.
Oh!
Okay, pretty solid. Decent patience. A little tight through the arms. Good posture for the most part, but tightness through the arms, shoulders, kind of a big thing that I see at first glance.
Nice.
So let's break it down. In the first video, I mentioned that your hands are kind of close to your body, and I think that's kind of still the case here. Your winds, I mean, you turn your shoulders back, but you can see your hands are very close to your body. A little bit more outstretched as the ball goes in front of you. That's good, but you also want to kind of get that same sort of extension behind you. As you can see, there's not much extension backwards. Which, once again, like I said, just kind of makes it hard for you to connect with the hammer early because the path of the ball, the orbit of the ball, the radius of the ball, whatever you want to call it, is just very short. So if we go back, it kind of starts right here. Hands are pretty close to the body. You want to think about reaching them out backwards, out to the right, and out in front of you. Like I said, big circles all the way around you. Like I said, that'll help with connection, bigger orbit. You'll have to be a little bit more patient, but it's kind of a good problem to have. Feet still look like they're shoulder width apart, which is cool. But with like your hands being so close to you, this sort of your entry off this second wind just seems really short. Ball just kind of goes by you. There's not much work in. Not much energy being put into the ball. So you could, like I said, reach out, try to push your hands out, and sling the ball forwards. At this point, you're just kind of turning with it. There's not much going into the hammer. You can see you're kind of leaning back as the ball goes through zero. That's good. That's called the pendulum. That's part of, that's part of how you work the ball. But still kind of the same thing as in the last video. Your right foot isn't doing much. It's just kind of a post on the ground. And because of that, you can see right here as the ball goes left, your right foot doesn't move much while your left side, left leg, kind of leads the hammer and then pauses for this right foot to catch up. So, like I said, kind of sling the ball forwards more in your entry and then use that right leg to really propel yourself around and forwards. Because like I said, most of it's just your left side right here. But single support is pretty good. Looks like you're catching kind of deep. Your right hip is underneath you. Your posture is pretty good. Shoulders are level, hips are level. You step around a little bit. Try to get that right hip at this point going a little bit more forwards. Try to feel the ball pull you a little bit more forwards. And this is a good part. As the hammer goes towards the sector, you can really think about relaxing your shoulders and letting the ball pull you forwards. That's kind of another part of the whole pendulum equation, whereas your shoulders are very tight here and you don't quite have much direction forwards, which is where you could pick up some good distance and feeling if you can feel that ball pull you forward towards the sector. Posture's good. Same sort of lean back. Decent posture here. But then you can see your hands are always kind of tight and down and in front of your chest, torso, whatever, instead of really long and relaxed and forwards. So heel comes down, leaning back, posture is pretty good. Right foot is working better here, but you still see that left leg kind of leading at this point as the hammer comes through 90, you ideally want the hammer at 90, your left leg at 90, your right leg at 90, right? As you can see right here, the hammer is a little bit behind, which means you're kind of dragging a little bit. Looks like that left leg's coming pretty straight here too. You see how that knee kind of drops towards the end of single support? You need this left knee to kind of drop towards 180 a little bit sooner. That way you can, once again, like I said, get that direction forwards. And then same sort of thing here, shoulders look kind of tight. You can really try to push them forwards, relax your hands, feel the hammer pull you forwards towards 180. Better direction in the lower body, like I said, you're not stepping around as much, you're stepping a little bit more forwards. Posture is pretty good, shoulders are still level, but you can see it looks like your arms, your biceps and triceps are kind of tight towards your torso. Like I said, you want to get them up away and relax those shoulders a little bit more. But heel comes down, and it's hard to tell from this angle, but it looks like your right arm is kind of clamping down and forcing the hammer down. And then you're going to see this tension up through the left shoulder, this left side. You can see this whole left shoulder, hip, knee, all this stuff straightens out, which isn't a bad thing. But when your left side's the only thing doing any work in the throw, then it is kind of problematic. A little bit better here, but you can really see that tension up in that left shoulder as that left shoulder is higher than the right. Better patience, like I said, shoulders, hips, knees, feet, ball almost all at 90, so that's better. But then this right leg's kind of getting left behind once again because it's not quite with the hammer just yet. And then this left side's leading, so you kind of have this weird lopsided sort of single support kind of movement where you're coming across the circle with the shoulders and the ball rather than going towards 180. And then that causes you to land heavy on this right side. As you can see, this left foot almost comes off the ground. You're barely on your toe here because them shoulders are tight. You need more direction towards 180. And you catch. Like I said, you're just a little bit tight, so you're not quite getting pulled forward like you need to. But then otherwise, same thing here. Hands are kind of down and tight towards the body. Left shoulder getting a lot of work. And you're coming through on the finish. I mean, the finish is pretty decent. I like that little forward step. That means you're kind of getting some direction outwards in the finish at least, but you need more of that in the earlier turns. So overall, like I said, patience is pretty good, but the biggest thing, like I said, bigger winds, sling that ball forward, use that right leg, really use that right leg to push and stabilize that left side, to turn yourself, to turn your body, to push backwards against the hammer, push your body backwards against the hammer using that right leg. The biggest thing is you got to do it in the entry. That's kind of the hard thing to get it to, once you do it right in the first turn, it's going to be way easier to do in the second and third turn. Because as you can see, as the turns go on, it does get better. You could also try leading with your knee a little bit more here. You kind of butt kick a little bit. As you can see, your heel's kind of coming up towards your butt rather than this knee going up and kind of A-skipping over this left leg. So that's another little tidbit for you to work on. But yeah, like I said, you really just got to relax the shoulders and arms because, like I said, that left shoulder is just doing a bunch and the right arm's kind of tight towards the body. And then that left leg straightens out and it just kind of repeats itself for 3 turns. So, yeah, pretty decent. Good patience. You look a little bit more level and square than you did in the first video, which is good. But yeah, bigger wind, sling that ball forward. Keep trying to work that right leg sooner. And yeah, plenty of other little things you can work on that I mentioned in the video. So let me know if you have any questions. Happy to help as always. If anybody else out there would like a technical analysis or some online coaching, hit me up on any of my social media channels. Instagram, Sean__Don_ is probably going to be your best bet, or email me at sdonnelly757@gmail.com. So thanks for watching. Sean Don, peace out. Until next time.